What are fables? Fables are short stories that have a moral and teach a lesson. The theme and characters are interesting, and the stories are often funny and entertaining. Fables can also be described as tales that have a message in their storyline. Fables are often passed into our culture as myths or legend and are used to teach us about morals. The characters. The characters of fables are usually animals who act and talk just like people while keeping their animal traits. Examples include the tortoise and the hare, the fox and the crow, or the lion and the mouse. The most famous fables were credited to Aesop. These fables are all very short and feature familiar animals. Aesop was a slave in ancient Greece. He was a keen observer of both animals and people. Finding the moral. A moral is a lesson that the fable teaches. To figure out the moral of a fable, look for key details about what the characters do and say. The moral of a fable is usually found at the end of the story. Look for key words and details that support the moral you think you have found. What is the moral of this fable? The dog and his bone. Once there was a dog who was carrying a bone. As he walked across a bridge, the dog saw his own reflection in the river below. He thought that he was seeing another dog with a bone in its mouth. The other dog's bone looked bigger and tastier. Wanting the other dog's bone as well, the dog began to bark at the reflection below and dropped his own bone in the water. Then the dog realized that he had been a fool barking at his own reflection. Having lost his bone for good, the dog walked sadly and hungrily home. He had learned the hard lesson that by being greedy, you risk losing what you already have. The moral of this story is to be satisfied with what you have. The dog was foolish to want more than what he needed. Key details. The details show the actions of the dog and the result of his actions. In this fable, the dog was greedy. He wanted a bigger, better bone. Because he was greedy, he ended up dropping his bone. Then he had no bone at all. Film by Rachel DeReeve.